Hello. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing, guys?
Doing well, and yourself?
Me
Thank
too.
you. Good.
Me
And you?
too. I rested on this weekend.
It's a good one. How was everybody else's?
Everybody's good. Today here is a little runny. Here in Kissimmee. I live in Kissimmee. How about Miami? Miami, no, Washington. Washington.
Today was decent. Nothing too out of the normal.
Are you prepared to vote?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't vote yet. I don't vote yet. One day in future.
It'll be a great time.
Yeah. And you, Vyacheslav. How do you spell your name? Vyacheslav?
Long name.
Tell. Vyacheslav?
Viatches.
No. How do you say your name?
My name say Vyacheslav.
Vyacheslav. Exactly like that.
Yes.
My name is Alexandra, but some people ask me Alex.
Alexandra is Russian name.
Alexandra,
yes.
Yeah, because it's with X. The she. X. Yeah.
I'm read her name in Krana, Alexandra.
But if you don't know to pronounce, you can say Alex. Yeah, Alex is easy to say.
Good name, Alex.
Alexander the Great.
That's great.
Yeah, the one that's gonna conquer Orlando. Good evening, guys. How are we doing today?
Morning.
We are fine.
All right. How are you?
Good. Well, amazing. Every day better and better.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Oh yeah.
If we complain, nobody's gonna hear it, and it's not good for the conversation. So everything is amazing. I'm happy.
Me too. Today to me was a great day.
Good.
Yes, I'm in the stock market. So I start to do options also. Oh my gosh. It's something that, wow, it's liquidate. How do you say liquidate in English? Liquidity. The liquidity is something like incredible. It's amazing. I love it.
That is good.
And I wanted to make lots of money in real estate to put on the market.
Yeah, just to put on the market. And you will. You know that the new developers in Orlando are paying 10% commission?
Yeah. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. So you sell a house at $400,000, you make $40,000 commission.
Wow. Incredible.
A lot of money to trash.
And Orlando has lots of opportunity because Orlando is growing fast.
Yeah, it's growing. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's always growing. Yeah. Rafael, I don't see you. Where's your camera? Claudia, I don't see you. Where's your camera? Uh-huh. Oh, better.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Claudia.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
I was hearing your conversation with Vyacheslav. That's great. I'm living here in Orlando too.
Oh, yeah, so close by.
Well, I'm in the area of Claremont.
I lived in Claremont, and then I came back to Kissimmee, but I love Claremont because my daughter studied close by in Montverde.
I love Claremont. It's beautiful, and it's growing too. That's why I
growing a lot. Yeah.
Yes. That's
Who else is from Orlando?
I think
Who else is from
Rafael.
Orlando? Rafael, you're from Orlando?
Yes, I live in Winter Garden.
Claudia, why you keep turning off your camera?
sorry.
Hmm.
I have to deal with the baby too.
I put it on the first slide on the first day that the requirement by FREC, all camera must be on all the time.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it on. I promise.
Because if I don't see you, you're gonna be absent for today. And if I don't see you for 2 days, you can't take the test on Sunday.
I know. Okay. I'm gonna leave it okay. I see.
Good, good. Oh, I don't have enough lights here. Hold on. Oh. Much better now, huh?
Yes, it is.
Yes, good. Now, before we started, like what we do always, any questions?
Nope.
Nope.
No questions? Well, this is good. No question is good. Now, then we're going to start where we stop it. This message here.
We started in the lease agreements, right?
Okay, I got a question here. There might be a question for everybody, so I'm going to answer in public. So how do we register for the state exam? Well, before you can register to the state exam, you need to apply for your license. I hope you all already did it. Right?
Not yet. It's on my list here.
Yeah, it's on your list. Now, remember the reason why I told you guys to do this application as soon as possible. Because the best time for you to take the exam is exactly after when we finish the class.
Uh-huh.
Because if you take it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, man, you're gonna forget it.
Oh yeah.
Right? So the best time for you to take the exam is after the class ends.
It's when we still hot.
But they take 2 to 3 weeks to approve your application. If you don't apply as soon as possible and it takes 3 weeks, then you can take exam when you finish the class.
Yeah,
So,
I made a mistake about my question. It was about this register our license, right?
yeah, so you go to myfloridalicense.com to do the registration.
myfloridalicense.com.
Could you please share the link on the chat to everybody?
Can.
Thank you.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm here on the website, and I have 2 options here: public service, apply for a new license, and create my account. So, do we need to create an account or just apply for a new license?
You can, I think if during the process of applying for a new license, you will be requested to create an account.
Okay.
Because it's good for you to log in
Mhm.
and follow up with the process, because they tell you.
I'll do that.
Okay, so it's good to have it. All right, let's share the screen here. Nope. Stop sharing. No. sharing. Okay, do you see the screen?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
All right. So we are finishing on chapter 9. So let's look what comes after. We see assignment and sublease, right?
In chapter 10?
No, chapter 9. We didn't finish chapter 9 yet.
Oh.
We did this slide. Who remembers?
Okay. Okay.
Give me 1 second. Okay, so we saw this. Who can tell me what assignment is?
Assignment is when you virtually assign the rights of a contract that you hold to another party.
Good. In that example here, you're right. You're 100% right. But in that example, he is to assign a lease.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's not the assignment that we're talking about?
Not for the contract. The contract is also assignment, but it's called more like assignability. An assignment also, but in this case, he's for the lease.
Okay, I'll keep that
But
in mind.
you're right. You're right. And sublease. Who can tell me what sublease is?
It's
Sublease.
used to give another person only part of an existing lease. This can occur in one of two ways. Leasing.
No, you're reading it.
Ah?
You tell me your knowledge. Share us your knowledge. Don't read it from the screen.
Ah, I thought, no, I'm
What is
reading
a
on my
sublease?
book.
Oh, you read? Still, I want it from your head because when you take your test, you can use your book.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When someone don't give to another the entire lease, give some part of the lease. Someone is under the lease of the tenant, right?
Yes, it's when you sublease your apartment. You have a lease and then you sublease to somebody else.
A sublocação, não é?
Isso, sublocação. Isso mesmo.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to talk about liens. Liens are right to have a debtor satisfied by some property owned by the debtor. So, example, we are, and we're going to see this better in chapter 12, but we are in Florida, and Florida is considered to be a lien estate theory. A lien estate theory is that we get the deed when? When do we get the deed?
When we close. When we close.
The day of the closing. That's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why is he called lien estate? Because if I hold the title, that means I'm the legal owner. Then the bank has the right to put a lien on my property. Okay, hipoteca. The bank has the right to put a lien in my property. Why do they have to register the lien? Because when the title company does a title search, they will find outstanding liens that needs to be satisfied before closing or at closing. The house cannot be, the title cannot be transferred if those liens are not being satisfied. That's what a lien is. Okay, it's a document that is recorded in public records. So then we know that there is a lien in the property.
O liens means ônus, é ônus sobre o imóvel, sobre o deed.
Yes. Yes. That needs to be satisfied before we transfer the title.
Ok.
Now, there's two types of liens, voluntary and involuntary. Voluntary is mortgage or vendor's lien. Vendor's lien is when you buy a house financed by the owner. So understand, the vendor liens, it's not supplier. You know, some people think that because there is a name vendor, is a supplier. Supplier for what? No. Vendor's lien is when the seller finance the property. It's a seller finance. And the mortgage is the bank finance.
The bank.
It's called voluntary because I'm giving them the rights to put the lien on my property. I sign a document that gives them that right. And involuntary, it's a debt that I have. I never signed them any documents to put a lien on my property, but they still do it because I have a debt, outstanding debt. So construction lien, it's an example I gave you guys before. It's when I hired a company to do my roof and then I don't pay the roof and the company has the right to put a lien in the property. Okay? Now, there's two types of liens also that is called general liens and specific liens. And it's very simple to understand because the specific liens are only looking into the property itself. That's why it's called specific, because it's specific for the property. General liens, it's for general. It is going to look into my property and it's also going to look into my personal assets. Okay? So general liens are judgment liens, IRS liens, and federal state taxes lien. And the specific liens are property taxes. They'll look into my property, special assessment liens, mortgage, vendor liens, and construction liens. That's also called mechanic liens. Okay? Now, I want you guys to understand this thing here. Let me just put the participants here so we can see everybody. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me just look into this. All right. Let's create a scenario to make this subject easier to understand. If the house goes to foreclosure and there is a lien for the mortgage for $300,000, there is another lien for the second mortgage for $50,000. There is a lien for the property taxes, another $20,000, and another mechanical lien for $10,000. The house was sold in action. That's in general what happened when the house goes to foreclosure. It's not the bank who's taking the house. You got to understand that. The bank doesn't take the house. What the bank does is initiate the process of foreclosure. So when the bank initiates the process of foreclosure with a local court, then the court is going to put the house for sale in auction. And let's say that the money that the court collected after selling the house was not enough to pay all the liens. Who's going to get paid first? Are they going to get the amount and divide it among the debtors? You understand?
No, they.
You just a second. Do you understand the importance of this information? Because we need to know who's going to get paid first.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And if there is no money for everybody, so the last person may not get anything. And it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, let's look. There's two types of priority on the lien. One is called superior lien and junior liens. Superior liens is who's going to get the money first before everybody else. And guess who is the superior lien?
Taxes?
Real
Government.
estate property tax.
Government. Yes, it will be property taxes, special assessment, and federal state taxes. But federal state taxes, it's not because you didn't pay your taxes, it's just in case of death. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, the junior liens, after government gets paid, there's money left. Now they're going to look into junior liens. And the priority on junior liens will be by the recording date. Whoever records first will get paid first until the money is gone. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So then the priority for junior liens is always who recorded first. So if I buy my house, I bought my house 2 years ago and I financed 80% example. So the bank who financed the property will put a lien on the property. And then a year later, I took a line of credit of $20,000. So then this bank will record the lien. And of course, because I took it the loan a year later, they will record a year later, right? So they take second position. So the first one to get paid will be who recorded first, which was my original lender. And the second one will be the second lender who gave me a line of credit, and that goes so on and so forth. We good? All right. Example of junior liens: mortgage, judgment liens, vendors liens, income taxes. Oh, there was only this.
Okay.
We were so close.
We were, right?
We should
But
go until
everybody was-
midnight.
Huh?
We should have gone until midnight last week.
We could, right? And you guys are too lazy.
We were all sleeping last Thursday.
Yes. You were. All right. Good. Now, let's take 5 minutes. Okay, everybody, I always ask for more. 5 minutes, and I'll give you 10 minutes to do the quiz. That will be probably the last quiz we're going to do together. And let me tell you one thing. When you do your quiz by yourself, at the end of the book, they have the answers. So you can answer and look at the end of the book, but don't cheat. Answer first. Use it only to check which one is right. Okay? So open your book on the quiz for chapter 9, and let's do the quiz. Are we good? Yes,
Good.
or maybe?
Good.
Good.
All right, good. All right, let's go first one. Which type of easement? Let me move this away so I can see it. Gives the electrical company the authority to install and maintain electric power.
Engross. A. A.
All right, hold on. Let me find my mouse here. Yes. The government may take the property of an owner who has died without heirs through a process called
C.
Heat.
for the deed to be valid, a competent.
B.
The type of or form of a deed most commonly used to clear ground on a title in real estate is the
A.
and
It's claim, right?
I
G.
stressed that to you guys when what did you say, Rafael?
G. G for
D,
quit
yeah,
claim.
quit
I
claim
put,
deed.
yeah, I put the,
D.
To clear ground, most used to clear ground.
Clear clowns on the title. Okay.
If a sales contract does not specify the type of deed to be delivered, the seller is required to provide
General warrant.
general. The process of taking property under the power of eminent domain is called
Condemnation.
condemnation. The type of deed in which the grantor does not warranty the title in any manner except against the grantor acts or acts of the grantor representative is called
I don't know.
Is that
Special
B?
warranty.
Yeah, B. I was gonna say B.
Yeah, special warranty deed. The covenant against encumbrances in a deed is designed to guarantee that what? Hmm?
I
Don't know that.
B.
A.
A. The grantor has not encumbered the property in any manner except as noted on the deed.
Yeah.
In answering question pertaining the quality of a title, real estate license are required to do what?
B. B.
That's right. So for an attorney, the seizing clause in a deed specifies what?
C.
That the grantor
Oh,
owns
D.
the property, has the right to sell. That's the seizing clause.
Okay.
The provision in a deed that names the parties and contains the granting clause, which one it is?
Premises.
Yes, the premises clause. An owner placed a condition in the deed stipulating that a commercial building could not be erected on the property until at least the year 2020. This is an example of
B.
B, deed restriction. An example of an encumbrance on title to real estate does not include it.
D.
No. The lender's title insurance policy is issued for
D.
what is it?
I don't know.
The
I think
loan.
it's D.
Yeah.
I just remembered that that is not transferable, but I
Well,
put D.
Then you would need to change what you remember. Okay? The title insurance that is not transferable is the buyer's title insurance.
Oh,
The lender's title insurance is transferable.
Is that C? The answer.
Yes. The loan
C?
balance sheet, yes. You take the lender's title insurance based on the loan amount, and it is transferable.
Mm.
Which lien is first in priority?
A.
Okay.
Okay, this I didn't explain to you guys. I said I was going to explain that later, and this is the time. Did you get any answer for this? Did you try to answer?
No.
No.
I said
No.
A.
You said A. How did you come up with that answer, Robert?
I have a bachelor degree on mathematics.
Good. Then teach us. What did you do?
I divide, well, simple answer, I divided the $21 by the index 189, then I multiplied by 195.
All right. I guess a ordem dos fatores não altera o produto. Okay. In general, this is how I teach. You divided the new index by the old index.
It's a percentage calculation, right?
Huh?
It's almost a percentage calculation.
Yeah, percentage, yes. The first thing you do is get the new index, which is 195, and you divide it by 189. Then you're going to know how much it went up.
What is that index means?
Index is the number that they use it to calculate the rate.
Okay, is A?
Yeah.
No,
What is index again?
no, let me show you. Give me 1 second. Let me stop sharing. I'm grab my calculator. And I'm going to share again with the calculator. Okay, share calculator. Do you see my calculator?
Uh-huh.
So it's 189.
Uh-huh.
Oh, actually, no. It's 195 divided by 189. Isn't that the first one, the old index?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have. Then you multiply by the value. What is the value?
2150.
150.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your answer, 2218.
Okay.
It's a percentage. From 189 to 195 is a 6% increase. Then you apply to the old value, the old price.
Yes.
What is index again?
It's the number that they use it to calculate the rent. That type of index. There's many different type of index.
And where does that come from?
Well, we have an information about that. I don't know where you get it, but you do.
It's like an official index, something like that?
No.
It's an official index, yes. Oh. One second. Okay, going to the next one. So the answer is 2218. A married couple signed a contract to purchase a home in a residential subdivision. When the couple had a lot surveyed before closing, they discovered that the contract had built the neighbor's garage 3 inches inside the west boundary of the lot. The garage in this present location is an example of
D.
encroachment.
Yeah.
When a pathway to a property has been used continuously and without an interruption for more than 20 years, it creates a
Easement by prescription.
yes, easement by prescription. Soon after a man's death, a deed was discovered in his desk. The deed is for the man's home, and it deeded the property to a charitable organization. The man is survived by his son, who discovered the deed. The man died intestate. Based on this information, the house belongs to
Ooh.
Oh.
That's a simple one.
No, but his son is his heir.
So what is the answer?
I said B.
B. All right. Anybody else?
B.
B.
B. Huh? D?
B. B is in boy.
All right. So look at this. This is the key
D.
for your question. This is the key for your question. Hold on. I can't find this. Hold on. Let me just show you.
C.
Because the deed was never delivered and accepted. He signed the deed, but never transferred the deed. So meaning the property is still
So if the man lets all the real property to the charitable organization, the son receives nothing.
if he registered, yes, the son will
Registered.
yes, yes.
Oh my gosh, this
I'm
is not
sorry.
fair.
Where do you see that it was not registered?
Well, because he found the deed. Soon after man's death, a deed was discovered in his desk. The deed is for the man's home, and it deeded the property to a charity organization.
Okay.
So
if it was
it was never
registered,
recorded.
Too hard, this one.
yeah.
Now, how about this one here? Who's going to tell me that it's A, B, C, or D? Rafael.
Okay, G.
D. After what Rafael said about being a bachelor in math, everybody's going to follow Rafael now, right?
I just cannot fail.
D.
Of course I will.
Yeah, D. But how we get to D?
But the answer, the answers are different from our book.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know.
In my book here, A is 20,600. B is 24,000. C is 27,500. And D is 31,500.
Yeah, me too.
But at least you have the correct answer there, right? Look, this is simple. As I was explaining to you guys before, it says that the rate that he pays, $2,000, is based on an annual gross sales of 400,000.
Mm-hmm.
If he makes anything more than 400,000, he's gonna have to pay 5% of the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So very simple. 400 minus 550 is 150, and 500 and 5% of 150 is 7,500. 7,500 plus 2,000 times 12, which is 24, will give it 31.
Ai, ai, Maths. Vou tomar um pau bonito.
Ei,
Destinação.
olha, palavra. A gente precisa lembrar que o nosso pensamento produz coisas. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now think about this. I can control my hand. My mind can tell my hand to touch my forehead, right? Now imagine if we could or if our thoughts and our emotion could receive instructions from our mind.
Yeah.
How good would that be?
I'll be good. I'll be good.
Yes, you will pass and you get your license. You're going to be rich.
No, I will pass. I will pass because I'm studying the rest because thanks God, maths is only 10%.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to repeat what I told you before. In case you have any investors that wants to invest $1 million and you don't want to deal with that because there's math involved,
Yeah.
well, I will be happy to help them.
Okay.
All right, next. Oh, there's no next.
Highlights.
Highlights. All right, open the book.
Highlights.
Highlights for chapter 6.
Chapter 9.
6, 9. Yeah, of course. Chapter 9. Who said 6?
I didn't.
All right, prepare the book. Good. Now, we open the page, the book on page 202. That goes to everybody. Line 23 and the beginning of 26. Not through, end.
And okay.
Okay? 23 and
Thank you.
beginning of 26. Page 203 for everybody, 9 through 12.
203.
203, 9 through 12. 204, 3 through 5. 206. 36 through 42. Gabriela, when did you come in? Gabriela? All right, guys, 210.
I came in like 15 minutes ago. I was at work. I'm trying to like settle everything here while I'm watching you.
Okay, good.
I'm trying, okay? I'm trying to multitask. I'm sorry.
All right, no problem. 210 goes from line for everybody but Alexa. 21 through 25. And Alexa is 11 through 14. Page 211. Alexa, you still on 209, Alexa. 21
209?
6. No,
209 page?
No, you're already on 210 for half an hour already.
Okay.
Okay? Just for Alexa now. 210, 21 through 26. Now 211 for everybody but Alexa. 3 through 9. Also 30 through 36. And also 44 and 45. Alexa, just for you. 1 through 4. No, actually 1 and 2. Only 1 and 2.
Okay.
Also 18 through 22. Page 215 just for Alexa. 215 just for Alexa. 43 through 45. 216 for everybody else. 43 through 46. Alexa, for you on 216 is 32 through 34.
Can you repeat, please?
216, 32 through 34.
Thank you.
All right, 217 for everybody but Alexa. 32 through 34. And Alexa on 217 is 1 through 6. Everybody but Alexa on 218.
Could you please repeat the 216 just to make me sure?
43 through 46.
That's correct. Thank you.
All right, 218, 1 through 6.
218 for me also?
No, for you on 218 will be the graphic, the figure. Now, you go to 218 and everybody else goes to 219, okay? Do you see this graph here at the beginning of the page?
Uh-huh.
The left 3 columns, voluntary liens, mortgage liens, and vendors liens. That's where you're gonna highlight.
Okay.
Now, 221 to everybody but Alexa. 8 through 14. Alexa, 220 for you. 6 through 12.
Okay.
Okay, we're done. The highlight.
Anybody say again 217, please? Sorry. I missed that one.
12 through, 32 through 34.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to have a lot of fun on chapter 10. Lot of fun on chapter 10.
Yeah.
I assure you. Now, Alexandra,
Mm.
from now on, we're going to have a lot of math.
Oh, yeah.
All the 10% started on chapter 10 and goes all the way to chapter 18. So I suggest you to start telling yourself over and over again, I love math.
I really love math.
And you put a sign on your refrigerator, on the screen of your computer. In the morning when you wake up, you start thanking for everything you have. You got to be grateful for what you have. And one of the things is that I know math a lot.
Okay.
Okay? Good.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to help you. All right, guys. Chapter 10 is about legal description. And legal description, as I mentioned to you before, is the legal location of a property. Not the address, because the address could be duplicated. But legal description would never going to be duplicated. Every single house and apartment has one specific, unique legal description. Okay? And the legal description is done by a surveyor. Okay? And we have a different type of surveyor method. And this is what we're going to learn. There are 3 types of surveyor method. And we're going to talk about all those 3 methods of surveyor method. The first one, well, we already know this. The first one is called meets and bounds. And meets means distance, and bounds means direction.
It's distance.
Meets and bounds. Meets means distance, and bounds means direction. And there's a few things that we need to remember about this method. Let me try to make it clear for you. This method. Give me 1 second.
Meets and Bounds is a good name for a song.
Yeah, it's a good name for a song.
Somebody should do that.
I can't turn on my camera now. I can't end the meeting. All right. Okay. You guys are not going to see me to the end of the class. Okay. The idea is to take the measurement of the property and see exactly where the property starts and where it ends. Because we need to know which part of the land is mine and what part of the land it's not mine. I tried to search in the state of Florida for all 3 different methods. And this method I didn't find in any place. Now let me tell you, the best place, the most correct place to find the legal descriptions is on the deed. Okay? The best place to find the legal description is on the deed. Now, on this type of method, it goes like this. The surveyor goes to the city and he looks for a something called a landmark. Could be a monument, could be a tree, could be a rock. Okay? Then from that point, he will take the distance and the directions to go all the way to the point of beginning. Let me show you this here so you guys understand, and then I go back. Okay? Everything on meets and bounds starts on the point of beginning. But before they get to the point of beginning, let me put this thing in here. So all start on the point of the beginning, and I don't want to white. I want it in black. Everything starts on point of beginning from a monument or a landmark. So let's say that this is the city here. And in the city, they found a monument or a landmark. And then from here, all the way to the point of beginning, then he's going to go like north 45 degrees, east 3,000 feet. And then he goes for the other point, go northeast, north 45 degrees east, 3,000 points, 3,000 feet. Let me get my arrow here so we follow what I'm saying. So it's just to explain, guys, this. It's not for you to memorize 3,000 feet, it's just for you to understand how meets and bounds works. Meets and bounds are gonna work like this. You're gonna go, let me put it in here. North 45 degrees. I can't put it on up. East. This is my direction, and 3,000 is the distance. Okay? I'm gonna go on this direction, north 45 degrees east. How much do I go on this direction? You're gonna go 3,000 feet. When you get to this point, then you're gonna go southeast 3,000. And then you're gonna go southwest, then you're gonna go west, then you're gonna go northwest. So everything starts on point of beginning and has to end where?
Where it started.
On point of beginning.
Point of beginning.
Point of beginning. So always remember that.
It seems like a very old system, really.
Hmm?
It looks very old.
Very old system, yes.
A lot like a treasure map or an Indian description.
Yes, more or less like that. Now, let me make this thing very simple for you guys. Don't start panicking because it's a lot of information. And you're not gonna remember all of this. For each method, there's a few things that you need to remember. And for this one here, you only need 3 things to remember. Only 3 for this type of method. Okay, number 1 is that meets and bounds means distance and directions. Number 2, everything starts on point of beginning. And everything will end back on point of beginning. And the other thing that you need to know is the opposite of a direction. Okay? This is probably going to be in your test, which is very simple. Let me show you. Now, look at this. You got the compass here. And then I have, let me put an arrow here so you can see what I'm talking about. Do you see my arrow?
Yes.
So we have here north, south, east, and west. And this one here points to northwest, 45 degrees. And this one points to south, 45 degrees east. This points to north 45 degrees east. Now my question is, what is this one here?
South 45 west.
Very good. That's all you need to know, because the question is going to ask you something about that. What is the opposite of north 45 degrees east? It will be south 45 degrees west. And it's very simple.
West.
You just replace the letters for the opposite. The 45 will remain the same. So if it's north, what is the opposite of north?
South.
South. And then we repeat the 45. And if it's east, what is the opposite of east?
West.
West. That's all we need to know. Okay? Those three things are the three most important things that could be in your test. And I point that out to you guys. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, let's go to the next one. The next one is called government surveyor method. And I'm going to tell you something that I tell all my students. If you want to learn this from the first time we see it, you know, you have to do exactly what I'm going to do. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You have to do exactly what I'm going to do. You're going to grab a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Changing this to white. I'm going to grab a piece of paper, and whatever I'm going to put it on here, on this white box that I drew, you're going to put it on your piece of paper. Okay? And I promise you, if you follow me what I'm doing, and you do the same thing there, when you will get to the end together, everybody will understand.
Okay.
Okay? But this is the thing. I don't want to be interrupted because of the break. So let's take a break now. It's already 5 to 8. Let's take a break. And when we come back from the break, then we start again.
Okay.
All right, good. See you guys.
Bye. See you.
Kevin, ¿qué tres factores?
Del factor, le voy a poner.
Listo. Ah, pues lo pones allí, ella duerme con una pijama y dos mangas largos. Ok, vamos a ver aquí. Kevin, which three factors affect the star's appearance? That one it could be math. That one is science. Okay, why do you say math? Kevin, don't say it again that you don't know that it's a science, because that it means that you haven't studied anything.
No, I said I didn't know.
Kevin, how you study and you don't know anything? Stop there and come to study. Que yo no te escucho peleando por eso.
Dale, pero ¿qué? Sofía, sigue tirando cosas.
Quien pelee con Sofía va a tener un problema conmigo, porque Sofía es un bebé.
Hello, everyone.
No. Pelea con Sofía, pelea con Daniela, que yo te voy a pegar. No puede pelear, y menos por Sofía.
End this subject. Hello. Is everyone here?
Ella quiere que venir que yo la cargue, y como sabrá.
Claudia, are you talking to me?
Kevin, te voy a preguntar esa guía, y si no te la sabes, te voy a pegar. Porque te la tienes que saber. Vas a tener examen mañana. ¿Ya sabes? Dijiste que te la has estudiado 13 veces.
Claudia.
¿Y por qué no se la sabe entonces?
Hello.
Ay, yo no entiendo.
Hear me, Joseph.
I can't hear you, Orlando.
Okay, let me mute Claudia because I can't talk with the screaming at the back and she can't hear me.
Yeah, there's music in the back. It's rough to hear.
All right, so what is everybody else? We need to restart it.
I'm here.
You're there, Claudia.
Yes, I'm
So
here.
is everything quiet in your house now?
Oh, actually, no. I'm going to show you what's happening here. 1 second.
Okay.
I have a special situation. The thing is, my husband is still working today. Okay. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I see the little one. What did he do?
What does she do? She's a big and she's waiting for me to do the dinner. She wants to take a shower because it's her time. ¿Verdad, mamita? So
Nice.
that's the thing. Say bye, mamita. Say bye. No.
Bye.
No, she don't want. She don't want now.
Bye, Sophie.
Bye, Sophie. No? She's waiting. So that's why I'm a little busy. But I came here and I remember you're gonna say, we're gonna make the square, the quadricula. Right? Arlindo?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry. Where was that?
We're gonna make the quadricula, right?
Quadricula? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember. I love that.
Claudia, I see you here 3 times.
Hi there.
Hi. Okay, I'm making the drawings now. And you guys are gonna follow me on this. Okay. So let's look into individually. Let me see. Let me get my arrow here so you guys can see what I'm saying. Now, you see this blue line here in the center?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. This blue line is called principal meridian. Okay? It's called principal meridian. The red line, let me see if I can get a nice one here. This one is called baseline. The red line is called baseline. The vertical lines, which are those here, parallel to the blue one, are called range. And to help you guys remember, it's the line helps me to write an R. While those lines here, horizontal, parallel to the baseline, are called tier. All right, it's called tier or township, but I don't want you guys to remember as a township because township is going to be something else. Okay, now the state, what the state did is this. How am I going to locate a property? Remember that legal description is about legal location. How am I going to locate a property if it's in the whole state of Florida? So what they did is that they divided in squares, many little squares. And the little squares they exist to help us to find a piece of land. Okay, let's say that Claudia lost a ring and she calls me and says, Linda, I lost my ring, can you help me find it? And I say, yes, okay, I'll help you find it. Where did you lose it? And then she tells me, oh, in Florida. Man, it's not gonna help me to find her ring, right? Then I'd say, well, be more specific. And then she says, Miami. All right, it's better than the first, but it's still hard because Miami is huge. So the more that we narrow down the location, it's easier to find it, okay? So they created those little squares to help us locate a property. Now, let me put one more thing here. When the baseline meets the meridian line, it's exactly where Tallahassee is. Okay? That's exactly where Tallahassee is. Now, each little square of this, we call it, each little square of this, let me put it in here, we call it a township. Okay? Now, do you guys remember Excel? You've seen Excel, right? Excel has columns and lines. The columns and the lines, they have a name. All the columns is alphabetic and the lines is numerical.
Right.
So you have column A, B, C, D, and you have lines 1, 2, 3, 4. That's to help us to locate a cell. What is a cell? A cell is where the column meets the line. We call it cell. Right here, when a column meets a cell, we call it township. Okay? When a column, look, this is the column. You see my arrow moving? Yes? No? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Second column.
And this is the line. When my column meets my line, we have a township. Okay? Now, in Excel, we have a name for a column and a number for the lines. We need to have something here so we can specify the same thing. Now, let me tell you, what is the name of each one? This one here is called R because it's a range. A column is always a range, you know, it's following the lines that is parallel to the principal meridian. So it's R because it's a range. 1 because it's the first column next to the meridian line.
Mm-hmm.
And E because it's going east. We good? It's not complicated to remember, okay? R1E. Why R? Because range is the name of the column. 1 is because it's the first column after the meridian. And E is because we are moving east. Okay? Now, anybody tells me, how do we call the next one? Anyone?
Is that R2?
R2 what?
E.
Very good. R2E. Okay? How do we call the next one?
R3E.
R3E. And the next one?
R34.
Very good. R34. Now comes the question.
R4E.
Yes, R4E. Thank you. Now comes the question. How do we call, let me get another arrow here and ask you guys, how are we going to call this one here? What do you think is the name of this one here?
Would be R1W.
R1W, very good. R because
Okay.
it's a column, right? 1 is because it's the first one after the meridian, and W because we're going west from the meridian. So how are we going to call this one here?
R2 West.
R2W. The next one, R3W.
3W.
And the next one, R4W. Now,
why do we need to know about that? This is super technical.
no, it's not technical. It's exactly easy to understand because the name of the column is range and the numbers are column 2, column 3, column 4, and the E and W is the direction that we're going. Now, who's gonna, I remember I told you that this is R because it's range. All the columns are range. And this is tier, start with T because of the lines. How do we call this one here? Who's gonna help me with this one here? Rafael.
Which one? Oh.
I think it would be T for,
T,
for tire. 1.
T1
South.
S. Yes. Claudia, there's too much noise coming from your microphone. Sorry. All right. T1S because T is the name of the line. 1 is because it's the first line after the baseline, and S because we're going south. So the next one will be T2S. The next one will be T3S and T4S. Now, how are we going to call the first one above the baseline? How are we going to call this one here? Anyone?
T1 north.
T1N. How about the next one?
T2N.
T2N.
T3N.
T3N.
And T4N.
And T4N. Good? We got it? Now, guys, we cannot make this thing complicated because I still didn't even start it. If this is complicated, I'm going to call it the class and then we come back on Wednesday. Look, we have 2 lines. One is the principal meridian, which is my blue line. And we have the other line, which is my red line, that we call baseline. When they meet each other exactly in Tallahassee. They meet each other exactly in Tallahassee. Now, they created the other lines exactly to help us to find the piece of land. So the first line, each line parallel to the baseline is called range. So the first one after the base, it's called R because it's range, 1 because it's the first, and E because we're going east. And then we only change the numbers. If we continue going east, we just increase the numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. If we're going west, then the first one will be called R1W. 1 is because it's the first column after the principal meridian, and W because we're going west. And that goes on and on. Now, on the baseline, each line parallel to the baseline is called tier, and tier start with T. So that's why the first line is called T1, and it's going to be either S or N. It depends the direction you're going. If you're going from the baseline south, then it's going to be T1S. If you're going from the baseline north, then it's going to be T1N. We good? Any questions so far?
No.
No. Good. Now, when the column meets the line, what is it called again?
Township.
Township. When the column meets the line, it's called township. Now, what is the name of this township? It started with the line first. What is the name of this township that I marked it here and I wrote township? What is the name of this one here? Anyone? What is the name of this township?
R2E.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
started with
No,
the,
you're right. Yeah.
always started with the T.
The T first.
T first.
T4N.
T4N
R2E.
and R2E.
R2E.
Very good. It's like an Excel. Line and column meets. The only difference that in Excel, we started with the column first, right? The cell D6, C4. In this case here, we start with the line first. Now, anybody would tell me the name of this township here, where I just put my arrow. How do we call it? Let me put it here, hold on. T, 3S, R3E. Okay, good. That's exactly what it is. Okay? Now, continue. Now we're going to learn about the township. Now, this is what we have around Florida. The state of Florida, we have these squares all around the state of Florida to identify a location of a property. But it is still too hard. Why is it too hard? Because the size of each line, let me put this here. The size of each line is 6 miles. Okay? The size of each line is 6 miles. So how do we describe a township? It's 6 miles square. Remember, I want you guys to remember this because people get confused with 6 square miles. It's not 6 square miles. It's 6 miles square, and we can also call it 36 square miles because 6 times 6 is 36. Okay? I'm describing a township to you guys. What is a township? A township has 6 miles square or 36 square miles. Okay? Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom in this township. Let me put a line here. Okay, let's say I'm drawing this township here, right at the line of the baseline. What I did is that I put the township on a magnifying glass. I zoom in the township so you can see it better. Now, I know that from here to here, how many miles do I have?
6.
Very good. I got 6 miles.
6
So,
miles.
if I have 6 square here, what is the distance between this and this?
1 mile.
Huh?
1 mile.
1 mile, right? Because I have 6 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 times 6 will give me my 6 miles. We good? And the same thing goes here. I got 6 miles, which means from here to here I have what? 1 mile. We good? Now, we need to understand because, this is the reason why I told you guys to write it down, because there will be a question in your test that will require you to draw a township zoomed in. Okay? Now, the township contains 36 sections. So each little square, it's called section. Now, making sure everybody understand, because we have little square here and we have little squares here. Right? How do we call a little square here?
Township.
How do we call a little square here?
Section.
Section. All right.
Section.
Inside the state, every little square is called township. And inside the township, every little square is called section. And this is how you write the number of each section. In this case here, guys, there is no like a column name or line name, no. Every little section is numbered, and you need to understand how to write the numbers, okay? It starts from right to left in a snake. From right to left in a snake. So then I'm gonna have 1 here. I'm gonna have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And my question to you is, where do I put 7?
Just below 6.
Below 6, exactly, because it's a snake. Right? 8. Yes.
The guy who invented this is probably dead, okay?
Oh, yes, he's dead.
I hope so. Hope I can meet him someday.
Who wrote this episode should die?
What have you been smoking, man?
But you know what? I'm going to tell you one thing. This guy who designed this, I'm going to have to take my hat off to this guy.
Okay.
Because he was very smart. You're going to see that, imagine you looking Florida through the satellite. How are you going to find a piece of land if you don't divide that in little squares? Then you show exactly where that little piece is located inside a township and then inside a section. All right, let's go 13, 14.
It's the primitive version of a GPS coordinate. Yeah.
We always start on right to left, right?
Always right to left in a snake design.
Okay.
Did you guys ever try to write with the mouse? It's terrible.
Terrible.
And my handwriting is already bad with the pen in my hand. Now imagine with the mouse.
But it looks good.
Thank you. Thank you. There goes an extra point to you.
That's nice.
You see what happened, Claudia? Nobody wants an extra point.
Yeah, so we won.
Because
nobody agrees.
It looks amazing.
I'm being very honest. You're doing it great.
Thank you. My hand is hurting already.
Oh, pobrecito.
All right. Oops. That 6 was horrible. Okay, so we have 36 sections. Every section has 1 mile square because I have 1 mile in each line. We all understood that. So every section has 1 mile. Let me put this thing in here. Okay, let me put the first one here. So this one here, which is a township, no, it's called 6 miles square or 36 square miles. We good?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Amazing. How about a section? A section has 1 mile square or 640 acres.
Okay.
Okay? I'm giving you the description for the township, and I'm giving you the description for a section. Okay, every section has 1 mile square. Actually, I need to cut off this S here. 1 mile square or 640 acres. Now, there's one thing, guys, that I want you to understand. Let me put this thing in here. Let me see how will be better for me to put this. Let me put it. Okay, let me move this aside so you guys don't get confused. Now, do you remember that this is a township zoomed in? Right? What do I have north of this township? Okay. What do I have north of this township? If I come here, it will be easy for you to understand. What do I have north of this township?
Another township.
Thank you. Another township. Right? What is south of this township?
Another township or another state?
Another township. Yeah, no, this is basically Florida. And west is another township, and east is another township. Now, it's the same thing to say, guys, that on top of this township here, there's another one with the same amount of sections. And east, another one with the same amount of sections. It means that right here, I have another one that is starting on number 1. Right here, I have another one that is ending on 36. Right?
Right.
And right here, I have another one that goes from 6 to 31. And I have here another one that goes from 1 to 36. Because this is exactly what we have in each site. Right? This is exactly what we have in each site. You're going to have another one here on the same line. Now, if I ask you a question, and let me tell you that this question will be in your test. What is the section north of section 3?
34.
Okay, Claudia has one option. She thinks it's 34. Who else who thinks it's 34 or who thinks something else?
34.
34.
34 in another township, yeah?
Exactly. It will be 34 in another township. Why 34? Because what I have here, it's here on top.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless it is the state border.
Unless it's the state border. So you understand that, Alexandra?
Yes.
Then, then you're gonna ask me, it's nobody else, only Alexa. Which section is east of section 12?
Of section 12, north, south, east, west. What is the question again? Tell me again.
What is the section east of section 12?
East is to the right, Alexa.
To the right, yeah.
Yeah.
So on the section 12?
Yes.
Is 1 or 13? I didn't understand.
Look, I'm on 12. You understand that I'm on 12?
Yes.
I want to know which section is right here, east of 12. What is the number of the section right here, east of 12?
13?
No, because 13 is at the bottom.
13
I don't know.
It has to be this one here, 7. Because I have another township next to it that has the same format. Exactly what you have here. You have it south of it, north of it, east of it, and west of it.
Ah, I got you. The other township. Ah.
Yes, because next to a township has another township, then has
Okay, okay, I got you. It's 7.
All right, prove me that you got it. What is the section east of section 30?
30 is, hold on.
You gotta know
Is
what east is.
25. 25.
No, because I asked you
29.
east. East will be 29. Okay, east goes this way here. West goes this way here. Now answer the correct now. What is the section west of section 30?
29.
No, west. West of
Oh,
section 30.
West will be 25.
Gabriela, where are you that I don't see you? Did you get it? Yes?
West will be 25, right?
I don't hear you and I don't see your head moving. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it. I was saying I got it. I was just on mute.
Okay.
You can ask me whichever one you want.
All right. Which one, whatever I wanted, right?
Yeah.
Which section is 2 sections north of section 5?
So we're here, 2 sections north.
Yes.
So it's 29 in another town.
Wow. You got it. You got the entire packet of candy. Oh, my camera is off.
See, I'm paying attention.
Yes, you were paying attention. Good to know that. Everybody understood that 2 sections north of section 5 will be section 29.
Yes.
Yes? Excellent.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna ask you this. Let me raise a bunch of things here it's on our way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, good. Now I'm going to grab my. Now you understand that this section is right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're good? This section
Yeah.
is right here. And Tallahassee is right here. And this is my question to you. I am located on the southeast corner of section 35. Okay, I'm gonna give you my location. My location is southeast corner of section 35.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how many miles to Tallahassee?
Oh, many miles.
How many miles to Tallahassee? Rafael, I'm counting on you.
Come on.
5.
Southeast, 5 miles, yeah?
5.
No, look where I am. This is my township. This is my township.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was on the first one.
10 miles.
So it'd be 6 miles for each township. That will make 18 miles. Then another 5, right?
Yes.
23 miles.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was on the.
Understand why 23 miles? Everybody understand why it's 23 miles?
No.
Okay.
He's on the 4th.
Think about this.
Township. Yeah.
Look, you guys understand that from here to here, I have 6 miles, right?
Right.
And from here to here, I have another 6 miles, right?
Right.
And
right.
from here to here, I have another 6 miles.
Okay.
So right there, I already have 18 miles.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is my location. I'm right here.
Then 5 more.
I'm right here on the southeast corner. So from here to here, I have 1 mile.
Uh-huh.
From here to here, I have 1 mile.
Uh-huh.
From here to here, I have 1 mile. From here to here, I have 1 mile. And from here to here, I have 1 mile, which total 5.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 18.
23.
We good? Everybody understood that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Is this going to be in the test?
Could be. It could be. But let me tell you one thing. They were never gonna ask you the distance if your township is not on the baseline, because you can never calculate a distance on the diagonal.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna have to have your township right sitting on the baseline. So you, first thing you do, you identify your location. Like I said, I'm on the southeast corner of 32. Then I'm right here. Because if I said southwest, I would be here. Still on 35th, but I would be here. Then I would count only 4 miles. Right? And 4 times 18 plus 18 will be 22.
Okay.
Aline,
Yes.
is the distance gonna be the same if you told us that you are on the south corner of section 26?
Southwest corner. Yes.
South, it's gonna be the same distance.
Same distance. Southwest corner of 36 and southeast corner of 35th is the same corner.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, guys, take a picture of this, because this is gonna help you.
1 second, 1 second. One second, almost finished. One.
You good?
Yes. Thank you.
Guys, one thing. I had an emergency and I'm gonna have to end this class a little bit early, okay?
Okay.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience to let you guys go to sleep earlier.
Everything good over there?
No, everything is okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, we learn about the township. We learn about the section. There's one more thing that we need to learn about the section, which I'm gonna do now. Did you guys take a picture of this?
Yep.
You have any questions?
No.
No.
Good. You see, I told you, if you do this with me, if you follow and you write it down, we're gonna learn the first time I explain. And to tell you one thing, this is one of the best subjects that I like to teach. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. Now, remember that the reason why they divided into little square that they call township is to make it easier to find a property, right?
Right.
And then they divided the township into more squares to make it even easier. But remember that each section is 640 acres. And this is a number that you guys are gonna have to remember. There's no way to understand. That's how it is. 640 acres.
For each mile, yeah?
Each section.
Yeah.
Each section is 640 acres, and also called 1 mile square. But right now, what I want you to remember is the 60/40. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna zoom in exactly like I zoom in a township. I'm gonna zoom in a section. Now, this is a section. How many miles in each line?
1.
Good. Total area. What is the size of the total area?
1 square mile.
640 acres. What is the size of the whole area? 640 acres. Be good. Now, now the survey tells me that the land that we're looking for is on northwest 1/4 of the northeast 1/4 of the southwest 1/4 of the south 1/2. Now, what I'm going to show you here, guys, is to help you with the math questions. You're not gonna need to do what I'm going to do now, but just to help you with the math question, to help you make sense of this. Okay? If I just tell you, you have to memorize and do what it is, you don't make sense of the subject I'm teaching, and then I'm not doing my job. Okay?
Okay.
Now, let's look at one at a time. It's telling me that it's on northwest 1/4, right? Then I need to get my section and divide that by 4. Isn't that right? Because they said 1/4. If it's 1/4, I need to divide by 4. And I know it's not here. I know it's not here. And I know it's not here. It's going to be here. This is my northwest 1/4. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, my next information is that on the northeast 1/4, meaning 1/4 again, then what I have to do?
Divide by 4.
Divide by 4, very good. So then I divide it by 4, and I know it's not here. I know it's not here, and I know it's not here because this is my northeast. We good?
Mm-hmm.
Now comes the third information that tells me southwest 1/4. So if it says 1/4, I have to divide my section by
4.
4. So I'll divide it again by 4, and it's telling me that it's southwest. So then I know it's not here, it's not here, and it's not here. So my land, now comes the last information, which is the south 1/2. If it says 1/2, I have to divide by 2 between north and south because it's on the south. Then I'll divide by 2. And I know it's not here because it's this one here. Now, with this question, I'll end the class. But if you answer correctly, what is the size of that piece of land? Rafael, you're going to be the last one to answer because I don't want anybody to follow you. Everybody will have to give me a number or an answer. Can even say I don't know, but I want to hear everybody giving their opinion. What is the size of that piece of land? I gave you all the information you need to do the calculation. And let me tell you one thing. This is going to be the easiest math question that you will find on your test.
Oh.
Can I talk?
Yes, you can.
Okay, 80 acres.
80.
80 acres.
Okay, Claudia said 80. I'm collecting information.
I have no clue.
I think it's 5 acres.
5 acres, says Gabriela.
For which
No
portion?
clue.
Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure.
1
Stays
second.
Alexandra. What did you say, Joseph?
No clue.
The size of which portion of this? The
one with the green check mark.
Oh, the green check mark.
Yeah, the land that we just found.
Okay, no, gotcha. I'm just
following the instructions here, right?
Yeah, making sure I'm doing it right.
Joseph, I will accept I don't know also.
I don't know right now. I'll tell you when I get it.
5. I think it's 80 acres.
Who said 5?
Vyacheslav.
Vyacheslav said 5. Let me put it here next to Gabriela. Let me put 5. Let me put let me put Guilherme next to 80.
Put me. Can I go for 5?
Yes, you can go for 5. Yes, of course you can go for 5. Vyacheslav said, and also Joseph said 5. So the only person missing here, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Rafael.
Yeah, I'm with 5 too.
5 too?
Yeah.
Or 5?
5. Oh, come on.
I'm messing with you, man. All right. We have 3 answers. Only one can be correct. If you remember that the total size of a section is 640, isn't that what it is?
Yes.
You just follow what we did. What we did the first time, didn't we divide the section by 4? Then didn't we divide it again by 4? Then we divide it again by 4? Then we divide by 2, right? So that's what you're going to do. 640 divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 2 equals to 5. So simple.
Great.
We good?
Yes.
Now, Alessandra said you have no clue. Do you have a clue now? Alessandra?
Yes, I'm hearing.
Yeah, but I didn't hear your answer. You said you have no clue. Do you have a clue now?
Yes, now, yes, I got you.
All right, good. Now, let's say Gabriela. Who's that G?
Guilherme.
Joseph.
Oh, yeah, Guilherme. And who's that C? Claudia.
Claudia.
Yes. Do you know where you made a mistake when you find 80?
Yes. Yes, I know already.
Okay, I just need one more thing before we end, okay? Your question could also say this. And northwest 1/4 of the southeast 1/4 of the north 1/2 of the south 1/2. Now, what you need to understand is that this end here is a plus.
Mean plus.
The end means plus. So what you have to do is start it again. 640 divided by 4 divided by 2 divided by 2 divided by 2 and add it to 5.
Like it could be this larger area just below the one we had before, for example.
And the chances are that your question will have the end.
Okay.
You just have to do twice. Start with 604. Let me go here. Rafael, do the math. 640 divided by 4 divided by 2 divided by 2 divided by 2. We start again. 60, 40.
40.
Divided by 4. Divided by 2.
Divided by 2.
Divided by 2.
And then I 2.
Divided by 2. How much is that?
40.
40. So what will be the answer?
45 total.
45.
Good?
Yeah.
Good.
Any questions about this?
Yes, it might be a strange question, but shouldn't we read this backwards?
Well, no matter how you do it, you're going to have the same answer.
Oh, cool.
No matter how you do, you're going to have the same answer. If you do divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 4, it will be 40.
Okay, but the location will be different, okay? The location will be
will be the
different.
same because you're following the same thing, southwest, northwest, but only in the calculation, okay? To find
Can
the
I ask
location,
this?
you have
Can
to
I ask this in Portuguese?
Okay. To find the location, you have to, okay, Portuguese. And then I will repeat that in English, okay?
Para achar o lugar certo, eu não devia ler da direita para a esquerda?
Tem que começar do começo. Para achar o lugar certo, tem que começar do começo. Northwest one quarter.
Então, mas era o quarto do quarto do quarto da metade. Eu tinha que começar com a metade primeiro, depois do quarto, depois do quarto. Depois...
Não, pera um pouquinho. Deixa eu só falar para você isso. Para fazer o cálculo, não importa de onde você começa.
Sim.
Mas para encontrar a localização, você tem que começar pelo começo. Pelo norte fora.
Tá. Tá bom, obrigado. Desculpa polemizar.
No.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Joseph, his question was, does that matter where I started?
Where you start from to get the answer?
Yes, to get the answer. For the math calculation, it doesn't matter. You're going to find the same answer. But to find the location, you have to start from the beginning. But again, your questions, not even on the state, because I didn't hear anything about this on the state questions, they're going to ask you to locate the property. They're only going to ask you to calculate the size of the property, not to tell them where the property is located, because there's no way for you to do that on a multiple choice.
Okay.
Got it. Good. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience to let you guys go early home or sleep. I'll see you guys on Wednesday, same time.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.